You know, as a financial historian, I get really excited when I find these timeless principles in old stories. And today, we're going to dig into a big one. We're going back to the 19th century Rothschild empire to unpack a powerful idea that connecting markets is way, way more valuable than just playing in them. All right, so let's just start with a really fundamental question. It doesn't matter if we're talking about the crazy trading floors of 19th century London or, the digital world today. Where does the most valuable stuff, the real, lasting value, actually come from? Well, the answer might surprise you, but it's the key to this whole thing. The most valuable place isn't actually in the asset itself. Not the gold, not the bond, not the crypto token. Nope. It's in the intersection. That central point that connects all of them. And that brings us right to our big idea for today, the hub premium. We're about to see how the Rothschilds totally mastered this concept, like 2 centuries ago, creating a blueprint for value that's just as relevant now as it was then. So what exactly is this hub premium? Think of it like this. It's the value that a central player, a trusted intermediary, captures by connecting a whole bunch of separate markets. They basically suck up all the complexity so that nobody else has to deal with it. They become the one-stop shop, the indispensable clearinghouse for pretty much everything. Okay, so let's look at how this all played out in real life. The Rothschilds' true genius, it wasn't some fancy new financial product. No way. Their real innovation was in network design, the actual structure, the topology of their financial empire. So back in the early 1800s, the family patriarch, Meyer Amschel Rothschild, did something that was, frankly, revolutionary. He sent his 5 sons to the 5 biggest financial hubs in Europe. And this wasn't just, opening new branches. This was the creation of a truly distributed financial network. And you can even see it symbolized in the 5 arrows on their coat of arms. And you have to understand just how radical this was at the time. For the very first time, something like a bond issued in Vienna could be traded and settled, like almost instantly in London or Paris. Nathan Rothschild really pioneered this with an 1818 Prussian loan. It meant capital could finally flow across borders without investors having to physically haul gold around. Now, while all 5 brothers did really well, one of these nodes became the clear center of gravity, Nathan Rothschild's shop in London. And here's the thing, he didn't just play in the London market, he basically took 4 completely separate financial worlds and pulled them all together, with himself right at the center. Okay, market number 1, gold. Nathan quickly made the family the top bullion broker in London. They got so powerful, they even controlled the mercury mines in Spain, and you needed mercury to refine gold. So they literally controlled a critical piece of the actual supply chain. Next up, number 2, sovereign bonds. The Rothschilds became the go-to underwriters for European governments. We're talking financing everything from Brazilian independence all the way to rebuilding Prussia after the Napoleonic Wars. No little single-city bank could even dream of competing with that kind of multinational power. Market number 3 was currency. And this is so smart. Because they had houses in 5 different currency zones, they basically created their own private internal foreign exchange market. It was so much more efficient than the old clumsy one-to-one trades of the day. They could just net out most of the transactions internally, kind of like a modern clearinghouse does. And finally, number 4, commercial credit. By getting into trade finance, the Rothschilds connected the super high-level world of government bonds with the, down-to-earth world of everyday business. The very same hub that was moving massive amounts of gold was also funding the ships and the wagons moving actual goods around the world. And if you want a perfect example of their power, look no further than this. In 1825, there was this huge liquidity crisis, and the Bank of England was about to collapse. Who saved it? The Rothschilds. They single-handedly provided enough gold to prop up its reserves. They weren't just a player in the system anymore. They were the system's backstop. So you see the pattern here, right? It's all about convergence. You had gold, bonds, currency, and credit. 4 markets that used to be pretty separate, now they were all flowing through one single trusted point of settlement. If you were a trader, you didn't need 4 different bankers anymore. You just needed one, Rothschild. Now, this convergence, it didn't just make things efficient. It created something even more powerful, a massive, self-reinforcing information advantage that put them light years ahead of everybody else. And I mean everybody, including governments. Because think about it, because all this money was flowing across their desks, the Rothschilds had a real-time, bird's-eye view of the global economy that nobody could match. They had their own private courier network that got them market intel faster than government messengers. In today's language, they basically built the 19th century version of a DeFi oracle network, giving them an insane information edge that just locked in their position at the center of everything. Okay, so why are we talking about a 19th century banking family? How does this story apply to right now? Well, it actually gives us a really powerful lens to understand a core problem in today's digital finance world, especially in DeFi. I mean, just look at the DeFi landscape today. You've got dozens of different blockchains, hundreds of exchanges, thousands of tokens. It's a bit of a mess, right? It looks an awful lot like those fragmented, siloed European markets from before the Rothschilds came along. There's a ton of value locked up, but it's super hard to move it around. And we are seeing the very first attempts to build these kinds of hubs in DeFi. You have things like DEX aggregators. They're kind of like smart shoppers that find you the best price, but only on one blockchain. Then you have cross-chain protocols, which are like bridges connecting the different blockchains. But it's all still pretty clunky and fragmented. We don't have that true Rothschild-style hub yet, that one place where all these different digital assets can flow together seamlessly.
So let's bring it all home. What's the big lesson here? What's the timeless takeaway from the Rothschilds story for anyone trying to make sense of markets today?
Well, the Rothschilds add the crucial fourth layer to how we should think about liquidity. See, it's not enough for a market to just be deep, that's layer one, and it's not enough to have a backstop, a lender of last resort, that's layer two, or even great plumbing for settlement, layer three. The Rothschilds show us the final piece, layer four, a true hub that allows for easy cross-market conversion. That's when you have a truly liquid system. And this, right here, is the absolute key takeaway. The Rothschilds' fortune wasn't built because they created new assets. They didn't invent gold or bonds. It was built by connecting them, by taking on the system's complexity and charging a premium for that service. That is the hub premium, and it's where the real enduring value is. And that leaves us with a challenge, a question for today. As we look at our own complex, fragmented digital world, the most interesting question isn't who's building the next hot new thing. The real question is, who's building the plumbing? Who is building that quiet, boring, but absolutely indispensable hub that's going to connect everything and, just like the House of Rothschild, probably outlast all the stuff that flows through it?